Viewer discretion is advised.
Boom, perfect timing.
Do you have any ID on you, ma'am?
No, I don't. Why?
Okay. Well, the reason I was going to stop you is you're actually riding in the wrong direction.
Available right now?
You would prefer to talk to a supervisor?
I would.
May I ask why?
Because I feel like I'm being harassed right here.
What's your first name?
I'll wait for your supervisor.
Okay, that's not how we're doing this. You can identify yourself or you can go in handcuffs.
Okay, well, we'll talk to supervisor about it.
Okay, you can argue with the supervisor once he gets here, but you're going in handcuffs until then.
Okay.
Give me your hands.
Do
not! Don't you do it.
This is gonna stop.
Don't you do this.
You don't have any reason to
You are
arrest me.
refusing to... Let go! Let go!
I'm not doing it.
You're watching too many YouTube videos on First Amendment audits?
Yep.
Around 10:30 p.m., Christy Buechel was riding her bicycle on a sidewalk when she noticed a police cruiser ahead on the street. After crossing the road, she made a quick stop at a Spirit gas station. While she was inflating her bike tires, Officer Daniel Francis from the Cottonwood Police Department approached her and asked her for identification. Ms. Buechel informed him that she didn't have it and questioned the reason for the stop. She also requested to speak to a supervisor. Officer Francis called for a supervisor on the radio, but continued to demand that Ms. Buechel identify herself, despite her refusal and explanation that she wanted to wait for the supervisor to arrive. In response, Officer Francis took her to the ground and placed her in handcuffs.
My name is Christy Buechel, and I am a certified massage therapist, although I don't really do much of that. I just like to go, when I go to Arizona, I help my friend. She does landscaping. We work really well together, and that's about it. Well, I was going for a bike ride. It was like 10:30 at night, and I was babysitting my friend's pets, and so I just went for a little bike ride. I was going to go back and go to sleep, and I was coming through, it was called Old Town Cottonwood, and I saw a cop, and I was actually on the left-hand side of the sidewalk, and I was going to turn left to go down to the park, and I saw him there, so I decided not to because I didn't want to have any dealings with him, and so I went to get air in my tire, and he starts walking across the street, and he says, "Hey, could you wait there a minute, ma'am? I got to ask you a couple questions." I'm like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." And he's like, he goes and turns the lights on, and he comes walking back over, and first thing he says, "You got an ID on you?" I'm like, "No, why?" And so he starts telling me about how it's illegal to ride on the sidewalk and this, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. He's just trying to fish for something and make me ID. And I didn't really want to give him my identification because I didn't know I had it on me. B, I had a warrant and I didn't really want to go to jail. So, and I didn't want to really have to incriminate myself because it's my right that I could remain silent and not have to. And so I ended up asking for a supervisor because I've dealt with the Cottonwood Police Department many times and they're just horrible. But he asked why, and I said, because I feel like I'm being harassed about it. And so he calls for a supervisor. And he starts coming right up behind me and tries to put me in cuffs, and I try pulling away, and we get into a huge scuffle, and he slams me to the ground and has me in cuffs before the supervisor even arrives.
Ball 56. Bicycle enforcement, North Main and North 10th. Oh, sorry about that. Do you have any ID on you, ma'am?
No, I don't. Why?
Okay. Well, the reason I was going to stop you is you're actually riding in the wrong direction.
Oh, well, yeah, I was actually on that direction, but I was starting to come over to this direction. Sorry about the light in your eyes.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, I was just riding there till I came over here, because if I stop and have to go, it's the momentum thing, you know?
Okay. So you're riding on the wrong side for momentum?
I was riding on the sidewalk on the wrong side, yeah. Well, because if I was just coming down the hill and I didn't want to lose momentum, does that not make sense? Do you have a reasonable, articulable suspicion of me committing a crime, or what is the deal?
Yes, it's illegal for you to ride.
Okay, is that a
Hold on.
crime?
Yes, it is.
Okay, well.
That's why I'm stopping you for it.
Okay, well, I didn't know it was a crime. I thought it was just a. I mean, it's safer for me that way, honestly.
I understand why people say that it's
Is your
safer.
supervisor available right now?
You would prefer to talk to a supervisor?
I would.
May I ask why?
Because I feel like I'm being harassed right here.
Because
over riding on the wrong side of the road for my own safety.
Okay.
So yeah, thanks. Get the
I'll call my supervisor over
Thank
here,
you.
but I need your ID.
We'll talk to the supervisor about that.
No, you're gonna give me your ID.
No, I don't have an ID on me.
Sam 02 Paul 56.
Yeah, this is not a stop and identify state. I'm sorry.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. You can either identify yourself, or you can go in handcuffs, and I can identify you that way.
Supervisor, please. Thank you. Thank you. What's your name?
Officer Francis.
Okay, please use your supervisor, Officer Francis. Thank you.
My supervisor is being requested. You don't have any ID on you at all?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I'm on a bike ride.
What's your first name?
I'm not. I'll wait for your supervisor.
Okay, that's not how we're doing this. You can identify yourself, or you can go in handcuffs.
Okay, well, we'll talk to the supervisor about it.
Okay, you can argue with the supervisor once he gets here, but you're going in handcuffs until then.
Okay.
Give me your hands.
This is
Do not! Don't you do it.
This is not a stop.
Don't you do this.
You don't have any reason to
You are
arrest me.
refusing to... Let go! Let go!
I'm not doing
Stop resisting!
All right.
Stop and put your hands behind your back!
I wasn't resisting.
That's exactly what you were doing.
You just slowed me down.
That's because you wouldn't do what I told you to.
Because I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not doing any crime.
Paul 56. Log 1, 1015.
Why are you? What's your problem?
When the supervisor gets there and another cop, then they just all start like harassing me. They're like yelling at me, and I'm on the ground and they're telling me that I have to identify myself or I'm going to jail. I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. Then I guess we're going to jail. And they're threatening to impound my bike, which they really actually did for the night. And I didn't think that riding a bike on the sidewalk was a crime, you know. I just thought maybe it was a civil infraction or something like that, which it actually is, come to find out. But they just used that in order to try to make me identify, and then they used the failure to identify to arrest me.
Why did you have to go that way?
Go that way because I'm trying to stand up for my rights as an American.
I'm going to roll you over.
Okay.
Towards me. Bring your knees to your chest.
Please don't hit me.
I'm not here to hurt you. Bring your knees to your chest so I can sit you up. Now, where's your ID?
I don't have an ID on me.
Okay, then give me your name and date of birth.
Why? I'm not.
Because you were stopped for a lawful reason, and I told you to identify yourself, and then you tried to fight with me.
Down. I haven't committed a crime, sir. I was riding my bike to get up here, just pulled off to get some air in my tire, and he just slammed me to the
Okay,
ground.
you're riding your bike, you have proper lighting and all that stuff on the bike?
Yes, I do. I have the.
What was the purpose for the stop?
Look.
Purpose for the stop is she's riding against the flow of traffic on the
Against the
sidewalk.
traffic, so it's a legal reason to stop you.
Oh, I was on the sidewalk. I was just.
And then you have to, and on the sidewalk, you can't do that either.
I didn't know it was
And then he
illegal.
can identify
I
you.
didn't know
You
it was
refuse to
rights.
identify yourself.
Okay. No, I know my rights. I don't have to answer any
Okay.
questions for you.
You clearly
This is
don't, because I
ridiculous.
asked you to identify yourself, and you refused to do it.
Okay, yeah,
And then I said you have a choice to identify yourself, or you can go in handcuffs. And then you decided to resist when I tried to put you in handcuffs. That's why you're where you are right now.
I haven't done anything wrong, sir. I'm sorry I rode on the wrong side of the road. Is that reason to give a woman a fucking stripe on her, or bracing on the shoulder like that for riding on the wrong side of the sidewalk? Sorry.
Do you know how many people I've ever cited for riding on the wrong side of the
No,
sidewalk?
I don't. How many?
0. You know why?
Okay, well-
Because most people don't understand that it is actually illegal. That's why I'm out here to enforce
Okay,
that so
thank
that
you
people
for
don't get
enforcing it
hurt.
and putting me in cuffs and striping my
No, you're in cuffs
shoulder.
because you refused to identify yourself and then resisted me when I put you in
I have
cuffs.
rights. I'm American. I have rights.
So-
I can talk to a lawyer.
Okay.
That's what
What's
my
your
rights
first
are.
name?
I've been advised not to answer any questions.
Okay, then you're going to go to jail and get fingerprinted. We can make this a whole
If
process.
that's what you want to do.
That's not what I want to
That's
do.
not what we want to do. That's what
I didn't even want it to be this.
I don't. No,
I didn't even want it to be at this point. I was just going to educate you on the bicycle laws so that we didn't have another
Bring
accident.
me to the ground, sir.
Because you resisted me.
Because I feel like you don't have any reason to arrest me for an arrestable offense.
You didn't even want to listen to me when I explained why.
When you do fail to identify yourself as an arrestable offense. Do you have an ID in your
when?
backpack?
Since when?
Since
It's
forever.
always.
No, it's not.
So-
you guys
Yes,
don't
you
even
Clearly
know.
do not know
Yes,
your
it
rights.
is. You
Now
don't know your
give me
rights.
your name.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Spell your first name for me.
Serious. When you're stopped for a lawful
this is what
reason, you have to identify yourself.
Okay, I not stopped for a lawful reason.
Yes, you were. You already explained why.
No, I'm not.
And you already admitted.
What is-
I slammed on the ground.
What is your first name, ma'am?
I can't believe that you guys are doing this. This is retarded.
What is your first name? Or you're going to jail for fail to identify.
What does it matter?
Because we don't want to take you to jail.
I'm not doing anything
This-
wrong.
this is not my intention for any of this, ma'am.
Air in the tire and fix this my rattling bike thing.
You think I wanted to fight with a woman because she was riding her bicycle in the wrong direction? Okay. Do you want to identify yourself or not?
No, I don't feel like I should have to.
Cool. You're under arrest and you're on your way to jail then.
One of the officers cuts my backpacks off. I had 2 backpacks on. One was my friend's, and he cuts the backpacks off, and like they're like, "Stop resisting!" Like I'm in the cuffs on the ground, and I like can't even move, and they're cutting backpacks off, and I wasn't resisting or anything. They're just crazy. And then I stand up without permission, and you should see the look that I don't know if you watched this part, but the arresting officer, he's like, "Did I tell you could stand up?" And the look on his face is just total tyrant, you know. And I'm like, "What?" And I'm like, "I want all your body cams," you know. Then they walk me over to the truck and put me up against it, and they're patting me down, searching me, and the one officer, not the arresting one, his name is Officer Jesse Leedham. He's like squeezing my arm. Really, I'm like, "Sir, you're hurting my arm. You're hurting my arm." Like he's like, "You shouldn't. That's what you, or you shouldn't fight with the cops or something." I was like, "I wasn't fighting with the cops," and he just automatically believed the other officer, obviously. And he's like threatening to put me up against the car, like he's gonna slam me into it. I thought they were gonna I felt like they were actually gonna tase me when I was in cuffs, standing by the car for no reason. I mean, I was already in handcuffs just because I'm like, I don't understand. You know, like you're hurting my arm. Why are you doing this? You know, I haven't committed a crime. I'm an American. This is America. And they just didn't give a shit.
Start. I'm going to cut her backpack off so we're not taking her out of handcuffs.
Stop.
Nope.
Okay,
If you resist, it's going to be worse for you, okay?
I'm not resisting. I don't want
That's
you
exactly
to
what
slam
you're
me down
doing.
Again. I don't want you to slam me down again. I haven't done anything wrong.
Holy
I
shit.
haven't done anything
Well, you have. That's why you're in cuffs.
I request. I want.
Did I tell you to get up?
I want all of. Are your body cams on?
Yes, my body cam's been rolling since I got here.
I'm not doing anything wrong.
Start. I'm going to cut her backpack off so we're not taking her out of handcuffs.
Stop.
Nope. If you resist, it's going to be worse for you,
I'm not
okay?
resisting. I don't want
That's
you to
exactly what
slam
you're
me down
doing.
Again. I don't want you to slam me down again. We're not. I haven't done anything wrong. I haven't done anything
Well, you have. That's why you're in cuffs.
I request. I want. All
Did
the
I tell
body
you to
cams
get up?
on. I want all of. Are your body cams on?
Yes,
my
body cam's been rolling
Walk this way.
since I got here.
I'm not doing anything wrong, sir.
You're trying to walk away from the cops again.
I'm not walking. Just
Walk.
walk away from me. You're crazy.
Doesn't sound like I am. Sounds like
How
you
can I
are.
walk away? How can I walk away? I can't even touch the ground.
Yeah, because you're not cooperating.
I'm trying not to get thrown down. I'm sorry. I'm scared.
Well, this is the wrong way to go about it. Listen to what you're told. Face the car.
I'm facing the.
Do you have anything else? You stick a stab us or cut us.
I don't have anything. This is. I don't understand.
Choices, ma'am. You made very poor
I
choices.
didn't do anything
Choices.
wrong.
Yes, you did. You explained what you did wrong.
You're hurting my arm, sir. You're hurting my arm. You're hurting my arm.
Don't fight the cops then.
I'm not. I wasn't fighting the cops.
Really? He had to put you on the ground for a reason.
Look at the. Look at his body cam. Look at it. You're hurting my arm. You're hurting my arm.
Face the car. I'm going to put you against it.
Okay. It's on my neck. Please don't.
I'm not trying to hurt you,
Okay,
ma'am.
well, I feel like you
said
are
you
because I'm
failed to
scared of-
understand that this is only because of your actions.
Okay, well, you're hurting my arm, sir.
What's the zipper on the back? Is that just to keep your bra together, or is that a
It's a
pocket?
bra.
Okay.
There's no pocket.
There's no pocket in this?
No.
Okay, because when you go to jail, they're going to search you if there's anything in there.
I know they're going to search me. I'm not worried about that. I just don't understand why you're going to treat it this way. I haven't done anything wrong.
We already explained to you what you did wrong.
What did I do?
Just can't understand. Get in the car.
You said I was fighting with the cops. I
Get in
wasn't.
the car.
What did you do? Where's my bike going to go?
Get in the car. It's going to go RPD. Bicycle enforcement, huh?
What a fucking joke.
So what's use force to stick her to the ground?
What's that?
Use force to stick her to the ground.
Yeah, literally just wrist control. She tried to sit here and pull away from me, so I put her into here. Tried to control her wrists. She wouldn't cooperate, so then I just took her straight to the ground.
Okay. Simple and easy enough. There is nothing in her backpack except for something right there. Either backpack.
That's what it genuinely wasn't anything other than a bicycle enforcement stop. She was riding.
But she knows her right.
She was riding on the sidewalk against the flow of traffic, so I went to stop her. That's why I pulled over here, and then she immediately came across the side of the across the street and came here. I told her why I was checking out with her. Asked her for her ID. She said she wasn't going to give me her ID. She didn't have it on her. Then she didn't want to identify herself, and she immediately requested my supervisor.
Hey, she's got a driver's license. So she does have ID.
Did she tell you that she didn't?
Yeah. And that she knew her rights. And they're like,
City code resisting.
Sam 02 2729 Arizona.
You have to chase her down or something?
No, just fine.
No,
she refused to identify herself.
yeah, she refused to identify herself, so I said, well, you can either tell me your name and date of birth then, or you can go in handcuffs. And she said, well, wait till your supervisor gets here. I was like, no, you can either identify yourself or go in handcuffs. And she decided she didn't want to identify herself, so then when I tried to control her wrist to put her in cuffs, she decided she'd start freaking out and flailing and not cooperating.
Yeah, that's all she's got, a bit of weed.
10-12.
Go ahead.
No. $50.
Go for it.
Lowest one of the year yet.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Do you know my name?
So a little bit of weed and a little bit of cash just outside pocket.
Like little charging cords and shit in there.
They're opening up. I had a headlight, and they're opening it up, and they're talking like, he's like, "What is it? Like, some kind of gasket?" I just used a wrapper I found in my friend's shop to make it so that it was aiming the right direction because it was broken. And he's like, "Something gasket." He's like, and the supervisor's like, "Probably a sex toy." I'm like, "What?" See, that's the mentality of them. You know, it's like, wow.
Looks like she's been tearing things off though. It's weird. Almost like she's
Using
got drugs somewhere.
Echo gasket muffler?
Probably a sex toy.
Yeah, just immediately she's like, I want to speak to a supervisor. I was like, do you mind if I ask why? I'm just asking you to identify yourself.
You're watching too many YouTube videos on First Amendment audits?
Yep. And it was the whole, do you have reasonable articulable suspicion to that I had committed a crime? I was like, yes, that's why I'm here.
Right. I'll get your use of force report done fairly quick, so if she complains, it's there.
I swear, body camera was going the whole time.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not concerned about it. It's just I want to make sure it's there. So
That's why I even threw my red and blues on real quick, because she was coming up the sidewalk here, so I was like, oh, I'll just contact her right here. And then she cut across the street over to the gas station. So I walked over there and I said, hey, stay over there. I'm going to talk to you real quick. I guess. I didn't really want to.
Christy Buechel was charged with obstruction and resisting arrest. And what were you charged with in the end?
I got charged with resisting arrest and failure to identify, or like obstruction is a form of obstruction. So, I mean, like, I don't understand how they're thinking that that's going to even hold up, because if I failed to, I tell them my name, then how do they know I had a warrant?
So the only probable cause that they had to pull you over, and from their point of view, is she was riding on the sidewalk
Against the flow of traffic, yeah.
against the flow of traffic, and that's the
where I was on the
only.
left-hand sidewalk.
And so that's where your case is headed, where they have to figure out, did they even have probable cause to stop you in the first place?
I don't think they did, but they didn't charge me with that, so
you had no idea that riding your bike on the sidewalk was illegal in this state or in this county. Is it just the state or the county that you're in?
It's just it's just the town actually. It's not illegal in the state. They misquote the revised statutes, which is the Arizona laws, and they say that it's saying that you have to ride on the road, but it's not really saying that. It's saying if you ride on the road, you have to ride on, you do all the rules of the road apply to you if you're on the road. It does not say you can't ride on the sidewalk, but I guess they leave that up to the towns to do for themselves,
So in your opinion, they had no right even to stop you according to the statute from what you just explained to me. It doesn't say anything about you
Right.
not being able to ride on the sidewalk, right?
No, it doesn't. But they kind of use it in their municipal code to make it seem like it does. As a matter of fact, they have like a bicycle, just like a pamphlet about their rules or whatever and stuff. And it misquotes. It says that all 50 states treat bicycles as vehicles, which is also not true because I looked that up too. So Arizona revised statutes isn't against it, and so I think that I think it probably says somewhere that it has to, all the laws should have to like not be opposing to each other, because otherwise, the state's going to be higher than the city. So they need to learn what our rights are, because the law is not the same thing as my rights. My rights are what they're supposed to be ensuring and protecting, but all they do is try to find ways and exceptions to get around it. But it's like really sad, but it's completely opposite of what they're supposed to be doing. I think they just aren't trained how to do their job properly. The municipal court is who I'm dealing with for the resisting charge, and I've had 2 court dates now, and they both times with a different prosecutor. I don't think either one of them has even looked at the evidence, because if they had, they would understand that they're trying to make me take a charge that they can't prove me guilty on, because when you have a resisting arrest, there has to be elements to make that stand, and one of the elements is that excessive force they can't use excessive force. So they can't really hold me to that charge, because if they look at the evidence, they're going to see that it was used, and he had really no reason to, because I wasn't going anywhere. I didn't pose a risk, obviously. I think I just provoked him because I was standing up for my rights, honestly, and I think that provokes them. Maybe they're watching too many YouTube.
Have you had past experiences with this police department or this particular officer or officers?
No, not with the particular officer, but actually not with any of those officers, come to think about it. But I have had plenty of occurrences with the Cottonwood Police Department. I've been pulled over. I can't even tell you how many times walking. I've been pulled over on a bike a lot of times. They have had them impound 3 vehicles, which I never got back because I couldn't afford to get, because they put a 30-day hold on it, is what they do. And so then you have to pay for the 30 days it was in the impound and for the tow. And so, it's like $2,000 by the time it's said and done. And so I have lost 3 vehicles. And then if you don't surrender your title to them, they charge a $500 reinstatement fee for if you go to have another car registered in your name. You have to pay $500 for an abandoned title fee, which it costs $100 to get to abandoned title costs. And so that is like really corrupt, I think. And then on top of it, they want you to pay all the fines and surcharges, and when from all the stuff that they've taken from me and the things that I've lost because of like the time I spent in jail. I got my house here in Iowa got foreclosed on because I didn't make payments for 3 months and I was in the jail, and I got my house foreclosed here, and I owed $1,500 on it. And so that was like $20,000 down the tubes, and then plus, just the vehicles alone, that's like 50 grand right there, at least. And then plus they want me to pay them fines on top of it, surcharges, and it's ridiculous. That's an organized crime right there. It's racketeering.
So the only reason why you ride your bike or why you were riding your bike at that moment was because they had taken everything from you. They had taken your vehicles. You had all these fines. You had a warrant, all because of unpaid traffic tickets. So it's like a domino effect. And because you need transportation somehow, you're just trying to get to your destination, and they still are pulling you over and harassing you. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's accurate. It's targeting. It's like a crime to be poor is what it comes down to, because if I had no family out there, maybe if I had family out there, maybe they would have helped me out with some of the first fines and it would have gotten to where it did, but I just didn't. I just had no family, and my family's not rich anyway, so it's just, they get you in a position, they target the poor people because the rich people can afford to not get in trouble, and so yeah, it's sad.
What you're facing at the moment in terms of the charges, is the case still ongoing, and what's going on with the case? If you could go through that for me.
They want me to pay them $200 or 18 hours of community service to take a resisting arrest charge and pay them for assaulting me.
Okay, so they gave you a plea deal.
Yeah, they offered me a plea the first court date, yes. They offered me if I take the resisting arrest charge, they'll drop the obstruction, which a plea agreement is typically supposed to be a deal, you know. They offered me to take the worser charge and they'll drop the lesser charge because the obstruction is a class 2 misdemeanor and the resisting is a class 1. And so they're going to take the class 1 and they'll drop the class 2.
I just want to ask you, why won't you take a plea deal?
Because I have to give up all my rights to appeal, and I mean that won't look good if I'm gonna have a lawsuit against them. I don't want to have to say I'm guilty, you know. I mean, and it's not only that, but this is America, and America is not founded. The judicial system is there to ensure that things are done fair. When you sign a plea agreement, you're signing guilty to things you might not get guilty for if you take it to court, for one thing, but the stipulations that they have in it, they want you to give up all your rights. You know, you can't get an appeal, you can't. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's un-American. That's why we have so many people in prison. America has the largest prison population in the world. We have 1/5 of the world population, but still we have 25% of the world prison population. That's I can't even wrap my mind around that number. It's insane. It's because of the prosecutors and their plea agreements. 97% of cases don't go to trial. So I mean that's a lot of guilty pleas that they're getting 97% conviction rate out of people. You can't tell me that many people are guilty.
Could you briefly share with me the work that you've been putting in? Because we talked on the phone, and it's not like you're just, waiting for your court date. You've been putting a lot of work into your own case, trying to get to the bottom of this. I really want you to mention this. What exactly have you been working on, and what is your end goal in all this?
Well, they didn't even offer me a lawyer, which I think that's probably somehow they're wrong too, because if any offense that holds jail time as a consequence, they're supposed to offer me a court-appointed attorney, which I don't want one, so I'm not trying to say I want one, but I'm just saying they didn't offer me one. And I mentioned it both times. They said, well, we're not seeking jail time. Well, it doesn't matter. If you're not seeking jail time, they're not seeking jail time as long as they take the plea, right? That's how it works. But if I don't take the plea, then they're trying to put me away for 9 months and pay money too, and probation. But so I got these little boards back here. I don't know if you can see them. I might have to move the camera a little bit. This is the Cottonwood Municipal Code and all the things that apply to my case. It's not finished. And then I got on the backside, this is the bicycle, and they got the misinformation. Bicycles are treated as, by law, as vehicles in all 50 states. That's a lie. They're not. As a matter of fact, not even in Arizona, they're not. Is because over here on the revised statutes, it says right here, vehicle does not include devices moved by human power. So it's not considered a vehicle. So why are they trying to do a vehicle stop on me anyways? Like they're trying to think that it's because what they're running off of is they're saying that they're trying to use this one, 2812, which is a person riding a bicycle on a roadway or a shoulder adjoining a roadway is granted all the rights and is subject to all of the duties applicable to vehicles, basically. I mean, shortened version. But that doesn't say you can't ride on the sidewalk. They don't want a vehicle on the sidewalk, it does specify, but they don't consider a bicycle a vehicle.
So the laws completely contradict themselves.
Yes.
One says a bicycle is a vehicle. Another one says a bicycle is not a vehicle when it's human powered. So
their municipal code says a person. Wait. See, this is where they quoted the one I just read, which is 28.812, and this one down here is the 103220 bicycle thing. It says riding on sidewalks prohibited. No person shall ride a bicycle upon a sidewalk. Okay, well that's all fine and dandy, but they're making it seem like that's enforced by the code or by the revised statutes, and it's not. They leave that up to the cities, but they also say in the revised statutes that they shouldn't contradict each other. Well, that's kind of a contradiction if you ask me, and especially when they're using it to violate rights, because their job is to ensure rights, not do the opposite. To me, it's a code violation. I mean, isn't a crime. I even said I haven't committed a crime. I haven't committed a crime because it wasn't. It's technically, and it even says on this one, it's a civil traffic infraction. Civil's not a crime.
As of March 2024, the case in question is currently in progress and has not yet been concluded. Christy Buechel made it very clear to me that she wants her story to be made public. She's prepared to face the police department and prosecutor head on in this legal battle. For additional details and updates regarding prominent cases such as this one, please visit our website at voiceleak.com. If you have a video you'd like to share, please contact me through social media or email. You will find all of my contact information in the description of this video. Is there anything else that you want to share with the audience? Anything that maybe I missed, I didn't ask you about, or we didn't talk about?
Well, I kind of do, but I'm like kind of scared too. But if it's okay with you, it takes like 1 minute and 30 seconds. Okay, I'll try to do this, and hopefully I don't screw up because I'm scared now. But okay, 1 second. Sorry. All right. When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve political bands which connect us to one another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate but equal station to which the laws of nature and nature's God entitle us. A decent respect to the oneness of mankind required that we declare the causes which compel us to the separation. We the people believe these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal and are endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights, among which are life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. To ensure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers by the consent of the governed, that when any form of government become corrupt of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundations on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to us shall best effect our safety and happiness. Prudence indeed will dictate that governments long established will not be brought down for light or transient causes, and accordingly, all evidence has shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer evil while evils are sufferable than to right ourselves by abolishing the forms to which we are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, seeking invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce us to absolute despotism, it is not only our right, it is our obligation to take down a tyrannous government and to institute new guards for our future security. That's like the preamble to the Declaration of Independence. That's what our freedom is about, and that's what this country was founded upon. And we're just being a bunch of coward pussies that want to be safe instead of, we want to have privileges instead of rights, and be safe instead of trying to uphold our freedoms. You know, I'm not for that. I believe in, if we want freedom, we gotta work for it. It's not free. I mean, how many people have died for this country to be free, and we are not free. We are not. If you can't exercise your First Amendment, your Fourth Amendment, if you don't have rights, we're not free. That's all there is to it.